What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here on NBA 2K25 here for another realistic rebuild, and today I want to do the Detroit Pistons. The last time we did the Pistons, I traded Jaden Ivey very quickly in this video, or in that last video. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, jumping in, like I said, doing a Detroit Pistons realistic rebuild in 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So the Pistons, unfortunately, just lost in overtime to the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Very close game. Came down to Ron Holland hitting a couple free throws, and he missed both, bro. I don't think it was a foul on Giannis, but yeah, Ron Holland has no clutch gene, unfortunately. He missed both free throws. He's a rookie. He was probably nervous, but yeah, really unfortunate for Detroit. But obviously, they're not the worst team in the league anymore. They've kind of been like that. They've actually been pretty competitive this year so far. But of course, Cade Cunningham has been incredible this season. You have Jalen Duren, who's been in and out of the lineup with some injuries. Jaden Ivey, who's having a solid season so far. Tobias Harris, Asar Thompson, who has yet to play for them. Tim Hardaway had a pretty bad head injury the other night. Isaiah Stewart, Malik Beasley, Paul Reed. Malik Beasley just had a great game against his former team. So a lot to like here in Detroit, of course. And everyone always points to the fact that the spacing on this team could be improved. And yeah, that's definitely something we'll look into. But they did, sign like Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley to help out with that. They drafted Ron Holland, who didn't seem like the greatest fit, but that's who they went with. So regardless, for season number 1, we're going to simulate to the end of this season, and we're going to see how this Pistons team finishes out. Does 2K have this team make the playoffs? We're going to find ourselves on the outside looking in. Let's find out. Today's video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps that you probably have all heard of, having a tool like this is insanely awesome in finding good plays right in front of you without having to do any research. Recording this pretty late at night after the Blazers game, and as you can see, looking at the board, there is a ton of value right now. We have Klay Thompson over 20.5 PRA. As you can see, Pinnacle has this at 21.5. DraftKings has the juice over 20.5 there. You have Gardner Minshew under 20.5 pass completions. You have Joey Slight over 5.5 kicking points. James Cook under a touchdown. So there's some value on the board at the moment, which is incredible. You love to see the value just popping up here. So if you play on apps such as PrizePicks, you got a ton of value here. You can go all the way over to Underdog as well. Not a ton going on Underdog. You have Dabble, which I like this app a lot. Dick Chubb over 55.5 rushing yards is on here, which looks good. As I hit the mic, my apologies. But yeah, make sure to check out Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. Link is down in the description below. Use code Crushables. Get 25% off your first month. Trust me, it's amazing. I absolutely love it. It has changed the whole perspective of how I bet on sports, and I love betting. It's a fun hobby for me. So let's just go ahead, just go ahead, get down in the comment section below, or description below, use code Crushables, and start betting now with Daily Grind Fantasy. Now let's get back to the video. So at the end of year number 1, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Ricochet is your Rookie of the Year in Atlanta. Amin Thompson, 6th man. Asar's brother, of course. Wembanyama, defensive player, who just dropped 50 tonight. And then Cade Cunningham, most improved player, which is incredible to see. Like I said, he's been pretty good so far this season. All-NBA first team, Luka, Nikola Jokic, Shea, Giannis, Wembanyama. I don't know if we're going to see Cade on here. We do. All-NBA third team for Cade Cunningham, so that's a great nod to see that. But we are the 10th seed in the East. We actually made it into the play-in. And I think if you're a Pistons fan, you'd be pretty excited and happy about that. You'd also probably be okay with being in... Actually, no, you probably wouldn't. I was about to say you'd probably be okay with being in the lottery too. But the lottery results have not gone your way. So I would understand if you didn't want to be there either. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat Chicago. And we are going to lose immediately, which I'm fine with. I know Pistons fans probably hate the lottery at this point, dropping from 1 to 5 every year. But we're not going to have the number 1 best odds, so we won't have to worry about that at least. There's no expectations to be disappointed. We'll have a draft pick, but it won't be anything too crazy, unless if we get lucky here. Let's get in the lottery, and let's see if some luck pops up for us. So we're projected to get pick number 9, and it looks like Minnesota has our pick maybe from something. Don't know 100% what that might be from, if I had to think about it. Minnesota-Detroit trades. Nothing I can think of at the top of my head, but it's probably an obvious one I'm not thinking of. And we are going to get our pick back at number 9. So we have the 9th overall pick, which is great. But 2 staff signing. JB Bickerstaff, I think, has done an okay job in Detroit so far. I feel like he's an okay head coach. So we can kind of keep him around for now. And obviously the biggest thing, kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video, getting some floor spacing is probably the number 1 priority. We do have a couple of salaries we could use in trades if we wanted to as well. But we will start with just drafting a number 9 and kind of seeing who we can get there. So at number 1, we got Ace Bailey going to Brooklyn. Number 2 is going to be I still don't know how to say this guy's name, but the center out of Duke goes to New Orleans. That's actually a great pick for them. Although passing Cooper Flag would be tough, I would say. Charlotte gets Cooper Flag, so it feels like they get him every time. Dylan Harper to Utah. We got VJ Edgecombe to Washington. Good pick there. Nolan Shore goes to Portland. Another guard going to Portland. Trey Johnson. Shaden Sharp was incredible tonight, by the way. And then Hugo goes to Atlanta. So for us at pick number 9, we got Igor. We could take Liam. We got Drake Powell. We got Dink down here as well. I mean, what do we want is the question. So if we look at our roster as of right now, Sasser, Cade Cunningham, of course, is our point guard rotation, which I'm cool with. So you have Ivy Malik Beasley. We probably won't resign Malik Beasley. We might. I guess it depends. We'll see. Hardaway is going to be expiring. We're definitely not resigning him. Fantakio is backing him up. Tobias Harris, Ron Holland's our power forward rotation, and then Jalen Duren, Stewart, and then Paul Reed. So, I mean, we pretty much have a starter everywhere at this point. So there's no, like, needy position for us. I guess we could take, like, Igor, who's 6'9" All-NBA, 35% from 3. We got Liam, 40% from 3. Drake. Preferably we get a guy, and I don't know enough about these players, to be honest with you, but preferably we get a guy who can shoot a little bit. So Colin Murray Boyles or Donnie Freeman. Preferably at one of the forward spots, I guess. Alex Carabin, who shot 45% from 3 on 35 games played. So that might be the pick. So we're going to take Alex here with the 9th overall selection. I don't know if that was the best pick in the world, but we do need some shooting. And I'm not familiar with some of these guys. I'm not going to lie to you. So a lot of the guys went off the board. So probably not the best pick, but I really wanted a power forward who could shoot. And Alex will eventually insert himself in the rotation. So welcome to Detroit. If nothing else, we can always trade him if needed. Jalen Duren, I don't understand why 2K always wants us to decline Jalen Duren. I am going to decline Paul Reed, though. Wendell Moore, I'll go ahead and accept. So qualifying offers, here are your free agents to worry about there. Nothing too crazy to see there. And then Tim Hardaway and Paul Reed are both free agents. The reason why we didn't resign Paul Reed is because we do have Isaiah Stewart backing up Jalen Duren, which I'm fine with for now. We have Tobias Harris, Ron Holland. We have Simone, Asar Thompson, Ivy, and then Kate and Marcus Sasser. So to me, the one thing I prefer to make a move on right now is probably getting a power forward. Preferably a long-term option. Like I know Tobias Harris this year and all, and he's okay fit, but he's 33, probably going to regress some more. I think if we can get a power forward who can space the floor like crazy, I think that would kind of complete what I want here in Detroit for this rebuild. So as far as who that could be, immediately Lauri Markkanen comes to mind, but I'm not going to go for him today because I feel like I've probably done that before with Detroit. We're going to try to think outside the box and really think about a guy we can go get. Maybe he's playing small forward. We can move to power forward, but we want a guy who can shoot the hell out of the ball to really help out the spacing of this lineup. I have the player that I want. There's a couple guys actually I was kind of looking at. So immediately, obviously, something that comes to mind is like Jabari Smith in Houston, who was pretty good from last year from 3 at 40% from 3. But I actually want to go to someone different. And he may not be available in real life, but I feel like there's a chance he could become available. And that is Denver's Michael Porter Jr. I could see a world where Denver is willing to let go Michael Porter just based off on how much they paid him and obviously the CBA affecting them. But MPJ would be a lights out fit here for us. We need a knockdown shooter. We can play some power forward. This man is 6'10". It makes sense to me. So I'm going to see if we get MPJ off the Denver Nuggets. I really like this idea. And then the other one I forgot to fail to mention, I also like the idea of Cameron Johnson. Unfortunately, Cameron Johnson is just not as good as MPJ, at least in 2K. So that's why I'm, kind of leaning towards getting Michael Porter Jr., who's an 84 overall, compared to Cameron Johnson, who doesn't really go up an overall, even close to an 84 in 2K, unfortunately. So I'm going to see if Denver will do business with me when it comes to MPJ. So I'm fine with throwing Tobias Harris in here, of course. This gives them a guy who's on an expiring contract, so they get off MPJ's contract sooner. Like I said, if Denver did this, this would strictly be motivated to get under some tax line or under the CBA, or like just work around the CBA, basically. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility something like this could, in theory, happen. So we could also give them Simone, who would probably help out their depth a little bit. And then we give them we can give them like Bobby. And then we give them a first or something for MPJ services. I definitely think this could be a trade that would make some sense. 2027 first, maybe it's too rich for me. Let's say we trade a 2028 first. Tobias Harris, Simone, Bobby in 2028. Denver gets a massive haul. This could, in theory, be considered an overpay, and I wouldn't like disagree with you necessarily. I definitely can understand if you have that perspective here, but I think in order for Denver to, break up their championship core, they're gonna have to get a haul for MPJ, I would guess, and we're gonna see if we can make this happen. They don't agree to that. Wow, I thought they would say yes to this offer we made. I thought that would be an easy done deal. We had to throw a couple seconds in there. Second round picks to me don't really matter, at least in 2K. But obviously, real life, they could be valuable. But we got our guy, and that's what I wanted. I think MPJ kind of completes the starting five. Asar and Jaden Ivey are only going to get better. Cade Cunningham's incredible. But yeah, MPJ immediately plugs into the power forward spot, which is fantastic. We might have wasted our 9th overall pick. I'm not going to lie on Alex, but he will get better and will eventually probably be a rotational piece for us, which is what we want in the future. So yeah, I'm feeling okay about it. We definitely want to use some free agency money on some guys because we do need like a backup, or I guess Ron Hall will be our backup power forward. So Stewart, Jalen Duren, Ron Hall will be our backup power forward. We can honestly throw Alex in rotation right away and just give him some minutes. I mean, why not? So the only thing to me we could truly need is like a backup 2 guard. And we could just go get like Luke Kennard back in Detroit, Bruce Brown back in Detroit, a lot of different options there, THT. Or we could just bring back Malik Beasley, who just played a stint with us. So yeah, I don't mind this. Let's get Malik Beasley back, who just played a little bit with us. So that will be our offseason. Nothing too crazy. I mean, MPJ was a pretty good get, I think, if I had to say so myself. Let's go look at player progression and see what 2K thinks of our roster. So you have Cade up to an 89, Ivy up to 83, 83, Jalen Duren, 83, Asar Thompson. Asar, MPJ is a great fit. Now, MPJ did go down 1. Doesn't really show that, but whatever. Stewart, 78, 78 for Sasser, 77 Ron Holland, Winnemore, 73. So all of this looks incredible. Love what I'm seeing. I'm probably going to throw Alex Caravan some minutes. I don't even know if I'm saying that name correctly, but I'm going to give him rotational minutes right away. So we're about to get in the rotation here in just a second once I get this draft class loaded for year 2. So about to get in the rotation for year 2, but I do got to change the proficiency because it's listed at defense right now. I obviously don't think that's very necessary. So we're going to go to a balance system. That's just always the typical one I go for. But cannot wait to look at the starting 5 with you guys because it looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I really like the addition of Michael Porter Jr. to kind of complete things here. So once we have this fixed, which we do now, let's go take a look at the starting 5. So, and the rotation in general. So you have Cade Cunningham, of course, leading the way at point guard. Ivy next to him. Asar Thompson at the 3. MPJ at the 4. Jalen Duren at the 5 with Sasser, Stewart, Ron Holland, Malik Beasley, and then Alex off the bench. So this all looks incredible. Can't wait to see how we do in year 2. We made the play-in last year, got eliminated pretty quickly there. But this time around, we'll find out if we can make a deep run with the MPJ edition and all the progression we have on our young roster. So at the end of year 2, Luka Doncic wins MVP once again. Harper's Rookie of the Year in Utah. Amon Thompson, 6th man win, be the defensive player. And Alex R, most improved. And Steph's your clutch player. And Chris Finch is your coach of the year. And Nathan Mack is your executive. So, All-NBA first team. Do we get Cade on here again? No, not this round. No Cade Cunningham on an All-NBA team this time around. All defensive first team and all defensive second team. We do get Asar Thompson making all defensive second team though. Does Alex make an all-rookie team? We didn't play him a ton of minutes, so yeah, I was about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make it. So, not on here. Not the best pick in the world, as I said. But we are the 4th seed. So, for the first time since the Blake Griffin days, we actually made the playoffs trade up, and we get Cleveland in round 1. So, you have 27 from Cade Cunningham, 16 from Ivy, 15.5 from Sasser, 12 from MPJ, 12 and 10 from Jalen Duren, 9 from Asar with 7 rebounds, 9 from Stewart, 6.5 from Ron Holland, 5 from Malik Beasley, and 5 from Alex. So all incredible stuff. He did shoot 30% from 3 on only 2 attempts, or barely, a little under 2 attempts. But here goes nothing. So we're going to shrink this down to a 9 rotation for the playoffs, bench the rook, and just, roll with the vets. Or I guess kind of, I mean, they're vets in a way, but they're also still really young. So we got Cleveland in round 1. So let's see how this goes. Cleveland, of course, 13-0 in real life right now. Garland, Mitchell, Coro, Mobley, Allen, Strus, Dean Wade, Jalen Tyson, Craig Porter, and Luke as well. So let's see if we can get past the Cleveland Cavaliers. We got home court advantage in this series. So let's see my current round. And we will beat them in 5. So just like that, we already get to round 2. And this is only season number 2, by the way. Halliburton, Nimhard, Mathurin, Siakam, Turner, Jarris Walker, Obi Toppin, James Wiseman, and Aaron Nesmith. So let's see if we can beat the Pacers, and we will be down 2-1. Can we even the series? No, down 3-1. Okay, so we're down 3-1, and now we got to crawl back from a 3-1 deficit. I don't know if we have that in us just yet, but getting around two is still an incredible accomplishment. If you're a Detroit fan, I think you'd be happy to see that, at least based off what you've seen thus far lately. But now we go to a game 6 to see if we can force a game 7. If we tie this at home, we go to a game 7. So anything is possible here. We have the lead for a second. Can we take this home and go to a game 7? The 4-point game. Can we slow this down a little bit? They're starting to run with it. And that might be all she wrote. It looked like we were about to force a game 7. But hey, we get back to the drawing board in the offseason. And we get back to this point. So unfortunately for us, 136-126 loss in game 6, and now we got the Pacers in the finals, and they lose to the Thunder in 5. So not too shabby. I think I can be pretty happy with what I've seen so far. As far as the lottery is concerned, I do believe our pick is headed to Minnesota this time. I can't for the life of me remember what trade that might be from. I'm sure someone already maybe commented it down below, and I'm just stupid right now and can't think of it. It's probably an obvious one I just can't think of. But on draft night, I don't believe we have a pick from anybody. Let me just double check. Yeah, no picks at all in this 2026 draft, which sucks. But we will pretty much have a very similar team. To me, all right, so Ivy, Jalen Duren, Wendell Moore are all three guys I definitely have interest in bringing back. So Ivy and Duren are obviously going to start this offseason. We're going to get them back. Both drafted in the same draft class. If you guys remember, everybody felt like Detroit came out really well in the draft. Nurkic could be our new backup 5. Yeah, so the one thing I was kind of looking into is maybe upgrading our backup center. Stewart, let's see. So you average 50. I mean, no, actually. Oh, that's per 36. So you average 9 and 5. So yeah, to me, shot 42% from 3, though, which kind of really helps our spacing issue. So maybe, I don't know. Let me think about this. So Malik Beasley's still here. Alex, we'll see what he turns into. Ron Holland. All right. So we could keep Isaiah Stewart. I mean, yeah, maybe we do. I kind of wanted to trade him for like a center that rebounds more, but at the same time, having Stewart as a guy who can shoot 42% from 3 off the bench as our 5-man, to me, is pretty valuable. So I have, you know what? I don't think I'm going to change too much this offseason. I think I'm going to take this to the deadline. I'm going to see where we're at the deadline, and then I might make some changes with the bench or something. So Asar's up to an 86, 85 MPJ, 85 Ivy, 85 Duren, 81 Stewart, 80 Ron Holland, 80 Sasser, and Alex is already up to a 76, which is good. Malik Beasley's still a 76, and Wendell Moore is up to a 76, and Sam Thomas is as well. All right, well, we're going in with the same exact team. We got to round 2 and pushed the Pacers to 6, who got to the finals. But like I said, if there is a need to make some kind of trade at the deadline, we'll absolutely do it. We'll take advantage of what we can do. We have some contracts we can move. We have some other draft capital. We have young players. So, like, we could definitely go get anybody we truly want, probably. It's just a matter of, do we want to do it? So, let's take a look. Cade Cunningham. So, same starting 5 as last year, which I'm cool with. Stewart, Ron Holland, Sasser, Wendell Moore. All looks good. The only thing, like I said, I'd probably prefer is for getting Alex minutes here, and we will give him minutes over Malik Beasley, unfortunately. So Alex will grab these last few minutes, and we'll see how year number 3 goes with the Detroit team. And so far, we're off to a decent start. So as promised, I want to make a move for a backup center, and what better backup center to go get than Isaiah Hartenstein off the Bulls, who just signed a new contract with them. But I want to bring him into Detroit. So let's see if we can find a way to make this happen. So I'm going to include, I guess we can include Wendell Moore's contract. And then let's include Malik Beasley's salary. Doesn't quite match it. Landale, we're going to need a little bit more money in here. So maybe we have to throw Alex in here, which I wasn't ever going to do. But, I mean, if we're going to go for it, we might as well go for it. So Hartenstein for Beasley, Wendell Moore, and Alex. What do they say to this? Oh, Wendell Moore has a no trade clause, I guess. Okay. All right. So what about Malik Beasley and Alex for Isaiah Hartenstein straight across? We are basically trading the 9th overall pick, but we're taking our L here. That might be a failure on my end, not going to lie. But hey, if this leads to a championship, then what does it matter, right? So far they say no, and a second gets it done. Okay. So Hartenstein comes over, and then that's going to move Ron Holland to the 3. Who goes up to an 83. Stewart to power forward, who stays the same. And now you have yourselves a rotation worth talking about. Cade, Ivy, Asar, Michael Porter, Jalen Duren, Ron Holland, Isaiah Hartenstein, Stewart, and Sasser. And then we can just run a 9-man rotation for the rest of the season. Luka Doncic once again with another MVP, this time in a different uniform representing the Sacramento Kings. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Nolan 6-man in Portland, Wimby defensive player, and Hugo's most improved, and Fox your clutch player, and Mike Brown coach of the year, and Nathan Mack is your executive. So here's your first team. I'm assuming Cade gets on one of these, right? No, wow, I thought he would. All defensive first team and all defensive second team, we get a Sar once again making it, who's up to an 87 overall, just incredible. 10 and 8 out of him. Not a shooter, which is why we have all the shooting around him that we want. So first seed in the Eastern Conference. Here is your end of season record, 57 and 25, right above the Pacers, who obviously are the team that eliminated us last year. You had 28 from Cade, you had 20 from Ivy, 13 from Sasser, 13 from Duran, 12 from MPJ, 11 from Massar, 9 from Stewart, 7 from Ron Holland, 5 from Moore, and then 4 from Isaiah Hardenstein. So in round one, we draw the Orlando Magic, who have Suggs, Trey Johnson, Franz Wagner, Paulo Carter, Anthony Black, Jalil Bethea, Peterson, and Jet Howard. So this will be a tough matchup, but let's suddenly come around, and it was no sweat. We beat them, and now we get Brooklyn. So Brooklyn always seems to be a team that ends up being, getting really good in 2K. So I would not shock me at all if Brooklyn gives us some problems. But to me, I really want to play Indiana again. So hopefully we get our wish. So game one goes to us. Good start. Game two goes to us. So far, so good. And maybe no BS is going to happen to Brooklyn. They do win game one or game four, but we beat them in 5 ultimately. Give me Indiana, please. It's Chicago instead. So no Indiana. I really wanted to play the Pacers, but we get the Bulls instead, who gave us their center at the deadline. So it looks like that maybe made them better. I don't know. But Chicago with no center, Jock Landale, Jalen Duren should absolutely eat. Let's see if that ends up being the case. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, 2-0. So far, we have only, okay, there's a loss in 3-1. And we beat them in 5. So pretty easy path. We only dropped 2 games in the East at all. And I mean, it's not too surprising. Like I said, 2K, when you have a team that's super young and all these overall stacked up and our rotation's incredible, not shocked by what has happened so far. But now we get Minnesota, which should ultimately be a very tough series. But this gets us a championship if we win it. Game 1 goes to them. They blow us out badly, but we even it up. Okay, game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. All right, now for a simcast of game 5, and let's see if we can jump in and ultimately win this and bring home a title to Detroit. And it's looking good. I mean, it was no sweat. This was an easy Mickey Mouse path. We pretty much stomped every team in our way. 110 and 137 with the Detroit Pistons team. I mean, this was just too easy peasy. Like 2K kind of already had it set up for me. Detroit is nowhere near a championship team, of course, in real life, but in 2K, man, like I said, all it takes is having young players, and the sky's the limit, really. So looks like they put our reserves in, so we don't get to play with I guess it's our bench. So what do we got? We got Malik Beasley, or no, it's Dudley. I don't know who Dudley is. I'm gonna be honest. All right, so Sasser is a stud though, so I might get some shots off with Marcus Sasser here. Let's shoot a 3 with Sasser. Slightly late, not gonna go in. Okay, not a good start for my gameplay, but McDaniels is gonna go to Anthony Edwards. Ron Holland's there, and Edwards is gonna hit the lay-in anyway. All right, so let's try this again. We don't have to necessarily force a shot with Sasser. We can just get something going. So Rob Dillingham's guarding me. He was about to get lost in the sauce, but he gets back on me. Ooh, I can do like a pick and pop with Stewart or something. Nope. McDaniel sticks to him. Going back to Sasser here. Pump fake. No. So far, this is not really working out anything special. It's going to take a 3 here. Thinking I'm Damian Lillard for some reason. And, if I would have had Caden, then things would be different right now. But obviously they took him out, so now I'm playing with our bench. But let's see. Edwards mid-range. Gonna hit that 115. Good thing we have a lead already, because this is a close game. Your boy would be blowing it, which is good. Like I said, it's good that it wasn't close at all. All right, let's see if we can get a bucket in the basket, because I at least want to. Okay, there's a bucket, I think. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I can play the game a little bit. Not really. I generally, guys, not even going to lie to you, I do not play this game outside of doing videos. I'm serious, man. And I guess that shouldn't be too surprising, because 2K hasn't really been that good for, I don't know if anyone likes this 2K. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really kept up with people if they actually like this one or not. But yeah, I just haven't really played. I don't really play video games in general anymore, bro. Other than YouTube. That's like, ooh, wow. Step back 3. And I got an animation. That was pretty sexy. But yeah, I don't really play video games in general, other than when I do my videos, which is pretty wild. Busy life. But 152, 142, 18 seconds left in the shot clock. I'm just trying to get to the celebration at this point. But man, hitting that step back three with Isaiah Stewart felt good. I got a crazy animation out of that. Wow, that was awesome. All right, so 117, 142. Do I go back to Stewart? We don't have to shoot again, actually. There's, you know, sportsmanship, guys. It's sportsmanship. We don't shoot the ball after, you know, when there's no shot clock. Like, what are we doing? So, we're not going to shoot the ball again. Damn it. I want another three. All right, guys. I'm in it there. Thank you guys for watching. Getting Detroit championship was pretty easy. Obviously, 2K, it's easier said than in real life. But celebrating in front of our home fans, bringing home a title back to Detroit feels great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to end it there, guys. Thank you all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.